Hello, and welcome back to my ultimate character tier list for Squid Game Season 2. I specifically waited so long to make this video because I wanted to see what impression the characters would leave on me after 3 months of reflecting on the second season. I watched Squid Game as soon as it came out and rewatched it again around mid-January. I will rank the characters based on my own opinion, and I know many of you will disagree with my rankings. I am eager to debate this in the comments. The characters are in no particular order, so let's get started. Let's start with the most obvious one, the main character. I think it's no surprise that I am not a fan of Gihun this season, and I was very disappointed with almost all of the decisions he made. This is why I would place his character really low, and say that, for this season, he is C tier. Why so low? Because he did not change at all. He didn't learn a thing from all the experiences he went through. As I've said in multiple videos, he is still the same degenerate gambler who won everything by pure luck. For this season, I was expecting something different from him, at least a plan. He spent the last 3 years basically doing nothing. He just acquired some guns on the black market. His plan was to find the recruiter and make him arrange a meeting between him and the frontman. He managed to do that, but his plan failed drastically, and his ace up his sleeve was a tooth implant. That's all. He went through the selection process twice, and didn't even think that they might scan him for bugs? I mean, they implanted a tracker in him, but they wouldn't be able to identify another chip, especially from Gihun. No one came willingly to play those games without a reason, and the frontman knew that Gihun was trying to stop the games. Everything he did this season was bad, and the cherry on top was the rebellion. How in the world did he think that plan would succeed is beyond me. I have another video about Gihun where I explain all my thoughts about him in detail. I will link that video in the description, so if you want to see more content about his character, please check that out next. Going next, let's see where Gihun's friend, Jung Bai, ranks. Park Jung Bai is Gihun's childhood friend and gambling buddy, so it's no wonder he ended up in a similar place. He was one of the big surprises of this season. I initially thought he wouldn't do much and would just be a slacker, but he turned out to be quite capable. I thought all that ex-Marine talk was just to show off, but he lived up to his words. He didn't deserve that tragic ending. I would place him as an A-tier character for multiple reasons. First of all, he was very capable in all of the games. He was a real help to the main protagonist. I really liked his character, especially the part where he switched his vote. I think the writers did an excellent job with this part. They didn't let Jung Bai be just a blind follower of Gihun because they were friends. Instead, they humanized him and gave him his own reasons for why he would choose to follow Gihun, or why he would choose to continue the games. Also, his death was the most impactful of this season, and served as character development for Gihun. Next, we have Thanos. For me, he was the biggest disappointment of this season, because I had a completely different image of him when I first saw the trailer. That sequence where he pushed 3 players during the first game made me think, damn, he's going to be a twisted character and go crazy this season. I was expecting him to be a more chaotic and evil version of Deoksu, but no, I don't even think we can place him as an antagonist because he genuinely seemed to support the players and hoped they would survive the games. He also showed his caring side with Minsu and wasn't the bully that Namgyu was. His conflict with MG Coin was understandable, but besides that, he didn't pick on any other characters or try to influence the vote like player 100 did. Overall, I would place his character at B tier. He was just a goofy character who served as comic relief amid the darkness of the show. This is probably why he died so early, because his death didn't have that much of an impact on the social dynamics of Squid Game. Going next, where do you think player 333 belongs? In the first part of the season, I would have placed him in C tier because he didn't do anything special, and I didn't understand why his character got so much screen time. The conflict with Thanos wasn't enough. However, later in the series, he seemed to redeem himself, and his character gained more depth. He tried to rebuild his relationship with Kim Junhe, saved most of the secondary characters during the mingle, and killed Thanos. In my opinion, those are all the big moments he had, and I'm sure he will play a more important role in Season 3. After carefully thinking about this, I would place him in B tier as well, because his impact on the story was substantial. He defended the others, and him killing Thanos was the trigger for the special game. Moving on to his ex-girlfriend, I would rank Kim Junhe as C tier. In my opinion, she didn't do anything special this season and was carried by the other players just because she was pregnant. The only other significant thing she did was to tell Lee Myung-gi not to join the rebellion. This is why I think C tier is the perfect spot for her. She didn't disappoint in any way, but she also didn't stand out. Let's look at another player from Gihun's team, Kang De Ho. My boy doesn't deserve all the hate he's getting, especially from people who said he was faking his PTSD. That's not the case. He had a real panic attack there. I'm sure we will learn more about his story in the next season, and I really think that his father abused him in some way, or at least set the expectations for him so high, as the only boy, that he was basically forced to go into the Marines or do other things he wasn't comfortable doing. I also think he was beaten a lot because of how he flinched and immediately went into defensive mode when player 120 yelled at him. Up until that point, he was a dependable character, bringing Jung Bai back after he voted to continue, clearing Gongi on the first try, and even agreeing to go with the rebellion despite all of his fears. I believe he will have a redemption arc in the next season as well. Based on all of that, I think his character had a big impact on the story, and I would rank him as an A tier character. Finishing with Gihun's team, we have the frontman, and he is the first S tier character we have. His writing this season was excellent, and his acting, how he managed to gain Gihun's trust, was top tier as well. Honestly, by the end of the season, even I was hoping that maybe he would change sides. Everything he did was perfect. Even the mistake where he called Gihun by his name was well placed. The writers showed us that no matter how perfect your plan and disguise are, there are still some tells that can expose you. I think his character was portrayed perfectly. We saw genuine moments from him, as well as him playing his role as a participant. I don't think he could have done more. Ranking up, we have player 100. Personally, I didn't hate this player as much as the fandom did, mostly because I didn't pay much attention to him. Yes, he was the biggest advocate for continuing the games, but besides that, he didn't do anything worth noticing. He called Gihun out a few times, saying he was full of shit, and that's all. This is why I would place him in C tier, because in my opinion, he wasn't even a big influence. Even without his intervention and encouragement, I think the players would still have voted to continue the games. I cannot say the same for Namgyu. I felt like he was the main antagonist and even more evil than Thanos. He also directly influenced the vote by putting pressure on Minsu. I think his character was very well written. He knew he couldn't beat Thanos and purposely allied with him because he could take advantage of him. We saw how he disapproved when Thanos mocked him, but he chose to stay silent because of the advantages he was getting. I also think that if Thanos were still alive and Namgyu had the opportunity to kill him later in the games, he would do it without a doubt. He is the character who resembles Deoksu the most in the second season. We saw how he took charge of the O group and how it was his plan to attack the X group during the night. He is also very vengeful and went straight after Sami. This is why I would place his character in A tier. Because we spoke about Sami, let's analyze her character as well. I would place her in C tier. She didn't have that much impact on the show, and her character did not leave a lasting impression on me. The only sequences I remember are when she was betrayed by Minsu and when she defended him against Namgyu. This is why I think C tier is the best fit for her, because her whole character is tied to Minsu. Let's analyze a VIP next and see where Minsu belongs. I was joking about him being a VIP, but if you still believe that this theory is a viable one, I have another video where I debunk it that I'll link in the description. Going back, Minsu is the perfect example that society hates weak men more than evil men. I think Minsu was the player who was the most similar to us, and many of us would embody his cowardly character if we found ourselves in that life or death situation. I know a lot of you would strongly disagree with this, but I would put him in A tier because of his writing. You can hate on him as much as you want, because he didn't defend Sami, but be honest, how many of you would do things differently in that situation? Not many, I'm sure. I'd be surprised if the number is larger than 10. He's just a scared person who accepts being bullied because it gives him the best chance of surviving. It's tragic, but we see this in our society way too often, from bullying in schools to abuse in corporations. This is why I place him so high, because he is the only player who embodies many of us, even if you don't want to admit it. Maybe this is why he gets so much hate, because people subconsciously recognize in him the traits they hate about themselves. If there was one player I really hated this season, it was player 007, Park Yong-sik. How low can you be as a human when your elderly mother has to play deadly games just to pay off your debts? And how low can you be to abandon her during the mingle? I don't care what anyone says. He wasn't taken by force. He was a big dude, and if he had struggled even a little, he could have easily broken free. Also, the two players wouldn't have struggled to bring him to the room and would have most likely looked for someone else. I also really hated when he voted O. Why would he do that? I understand that he had more debts than he initially revealed, but combining his winnings with his mother's, he could have paid off those debts and still had enough to live a comfortable life, or at least to have a fresh start. But no, he once again risked his mother's life for his own gain. He is the first character I would place in F tier, and trust me, I would have placed him lower if it were possible. Moving on to his mother, all the hatred I have for her son transforms into sadness when I think about her. I think she is the most caring character this season, and the one who resembles Ali the most. This is why I also think that she might die in the next season, just because Netflix seems determined to break our hearts. Her character is easily A tier. She is the most caring member of the group. She invited everyone to eat at her place, showed genuine concern for the pregnant woman, argued during the vote, and tried to persuade people to leave. And lastly, despite all the disappointments her son brings her, she still loves him and tries to do her best for him. That's a pure mother's heart. I would say the center of her team is debatable between her and Cho Hyunju, but I am more inclined to give it to Hyunju, even though she voted to continue the game. Let me tell you, player 120 was the biggest pleasant surprise of this season. I really thought she would just be a menace and that her character was added only for the sake of political fairness in the show. I really hate this. Why do all the new series need to include gay characters when it's not relevant to the plot? I think this is one of the biggest mistakes in the cinematography industry, but maybe that's just my opinion. Getting back to Hyunju, she was the most badass character in this whole series. She was ready to go full Rambo on a platoon of guards. Also, her slapping some sense into the shaman girl brought a smile to my face. I think she was one of the players with the biggest impact on the story so far, and her surviving the rebellion is definitely a hint that she will play a bigger role in the upcoming season. I think most of you would agree that I should place her as an S-tier character. She helped with the story, she helped our main protagonist, and she didn't back down or make excuses when the rebellion started. She used her wisdom and experience as a sergeant to help the other players survive the shooting. During the games, she displayed perfect traits of critical thinking and leadership, and because of her, a lot of people survived. I dare say that she was more influential to the players than Gihun was, but that's just my opinion. Moving on, I think the last player I didn't analyze is player 044, Seon-yo. I left her for last because I was expecting more from her as well. The mystique aura she displayed, her prediction to Gihun, her follower group, and her belief in the spirits. All of those scenes had such a mystical vibe, just for us to compare them to the scene where she started crying because she couldn't spin the top and felt that the gods had abandoned her. For real, that scene was a big disappointment for me. Even if the gods had abandoned her, as a shaman, She should accept their decision and embrace the judgment as being for the best, not start crying. That scene made her look like a fraud and a fake imitation, which is why I would place her as an F-tier character. Another big disappointment for this season was the detective. We got 8 episodes in which he did nothing. Nothing. I don't think it's confirmed whether the last island with the explosion trap is Squid Game Island, but I might be wrong. Him being alive was one of the biggest plot twists and one of the most speculated theories. I was expecting so much from him, and what did he do? He spent 3 years being deceived by the captain. I understand that you don't suspect the person who saved your life, but he was one of the brightest detectives and a rising star. How didn't he figure out that the captain was playing with him? He didn't even suspect him once. Where did all of his detective skills go? When comparing him to his version from Season 1, where he successfully infiltrated the base, killed a guard, discovered the files for Squid Game, and even captured one of the VIPs, I'd say this is the biggest downgrade a character could have. I'm sure he'll play a bigger role in the last season, but for this season, his character is also an F-tier one. I almost forgot about player 246, Park Gaeong-seok, and the female guard, Kang No-eul. I don't really know how to accurately rank these two, but I would rank them based on this current season. Why am I saying that? Because both of them received some screen time, but their stories haven't concluded yet, and the director left us hanging with that ending. I'm sure the guard who shot 246 is No-eul, but without confirmation, we can only speculate. I would rank them both as C tier because of this inconclusiveness. Why dedicate almost half of an episode to a backstory in the first part of the season, just to let it die in the second part? In my opinion, this was a writing mistake, and neither of them did anything major so far. Yes, No-eul appeared to revolt against the organ harvesting, and Gaeong-seok joined Hyunju's team, but that's it. Considering how much screen time they got, they should have done way more in the show. This is why I only rank them as C. And for the last Squid Game character that I would analyze is the recruiter. I saved him for last because he was my favorite character from the whole season. I was pretty sad that we only saw him in one episode, but that episode was enough to steal the show. I mean, the portrayal of the character, his morals up until the end, and the acting, it was a masterpiece. All of it. I don't think any other word would do him justice, and I believe he did the best job out of the whole cast in displaying his character. I'm considering making a video where I talk more about the brilliance of his character, so if you'd like to see that, let me know in the comments and I'll make it happen. He's easily the best S-tier character we have. And this concludes our list. I'm sure many of you disagree, especially with Gihun and Minsu, but hopefully you understand my reasoning for why I placed them where I did. What's your character tier list? What would you change from mine? Let me know in the comments and let's discuss this further. Have a great day, and thanks for watching.